Gone are the days of plain monotonous fronts. 2019 is the year of display holes, and Samsung has kickstarted the year with a bang by releasing their contenders in S10e, S10 and the S10 Plus. I have here the S10 Plus, and what do I tell you? Boy, I am mighty impressed with this device and loving the way it feels in the hand. Nice, thin, light and sturdy at the same time. Tapered glass from both sides sits flush into this metal frame. Looks wise, this phone is nothing short of an absolute stunner from Samsung here. The display is stunning to look at and houses dual front-facing cameras behind this tiny hole in the display, which is a much better implementation and not as intrusive as a notch. It also houses an ultrasonic in-screen fingerprint scanner, which is just okay. Sometimes it didn't recognize my fingerprint, and when it worked, it's not as fast as a traditional fingerprint scanner. But to handle that situation, you have a face unlock to move in swiftly, although not as secure since it's two-dimensional and not 3D like the Mate 20 Pro. Hardware is state-of-the-art, and as you would expect, it brings along the best of everything. To begin with, 6.4-inch gorgeous QHD Super AMOLED display. This was rated as the best display ever on a smartphone by DisplayMate. Colors are punchy and clarity is amazing on this display. And this breaks all screen brightness records because it goes as high as 1200 nits. Watching anything on this big, bright, colorful display feels really good. And to make your experience even more pleasing, it has a dual stereo speaker set and also a 3.5mm headphone jack. Oh, it's still alive. And in 2019, this should be considered a feature now. Depending on your region, you will get either a Snapdragon or Samsung's own Exynos chipset. You will get this phone with variety of storage options ranging from 128GB and going all the way up to 1TB. Both of these chipsets perform brilliantly and push out a brilliant performance in terms of overall user interface in gaming. Everything here is just so slick. The new One UI interface from Samsung has made it pretty easy to use this rather large device with one hand, as the overall user experience is designed towards helping you use this device with just one hand. It helps you to reach critical things within the phone by putting the options at the bottom of the screen. Although out of the box the icons on One UI look very large and cartoonish, but you can customize the grid size and make it look more pleasing, like I went to 5:6 grid size. If you saw my Note 9 review, I cribbed about for Samsung not letting us remap the Bixby button. Well, they heard us, and with S10 you can actually remap the Bixby button to open everything except the Google Assistant. But yeah, that's a step in the right direction, I guess. Full marks to Samsung for building something so fresh and fluid at the same time. Gone are the days of those TouchWiz and Samsung experiences. One UI all the way. Battery stands tall at 4100 mAh. And let me assure you, you are not going to need to carry a charger with you unless you decide to not get back home every night. This phone supports wireless charging in two directions. You can charge the phone wirelessly or charge other devices through this phone. This is just another trick in the long list of features that this phone has. Tell me in comments if these things matter or are these just gimmicks. Well, about the camera setup on this phone is also unique. In total, there are 5 different cameras, 3 cameras at the back and 2 up front. The 3 cameras at the back are pretty versatile. A telephoto lens, a default camera lens, and a beautiful wide-angle lens. The versatility makes the S10 a pretty amazing smartphone camera and allows you to click so many different kind of pictures by putting together some neat software tricks in the camera app itself. Overall picture quality was pretty nice from the main camera. The 2 front-facing cameras behind this small pill-shaped hole do not support the wide-angle photography because the second camera up front is used to measure the depth to quench your thirst for those portrait selfies. The front-facing camera was a disappointment for me as it struggled with age-old Samsung issue of over-smoothing of skin tones, especially in low light. Pictures are not as sharp as you would like them to be, and edges were pretty bad and blurry. Hoping that Samsung will fix this issue with some software update. Let me be honest, overall the camera feels much better than the ones we saw with Note 9 and the S9 last year. but it's still not at the Google's Pixel level and misses on things like the night side sorcery we saw with Pixel 3. And I'm also expecting to see some competition from Huawei when they launch P30 in the next few days. Subscribe to my channel if you want to hear about my thoughts on that. Well, overall, Samsung has pulled out another brilliant and very versatile device and has set the bar very high for 2019. For all other manufacturers, they have to do a lot to catch up. A brilliant design, encased in nice looking color options, a giant battery, gorgeous display, versatile camera, and everything being knit together around smooth software experience. Well, what's not to like about this phone? Samsung has a winner at its hands, and they have started the year very well. Well, that's all from me, guys. Thank you for watching. Cheers.